Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Is my voice audible to everyone here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I think still our friends are joining. Let's wait for 2 more minutes.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. So, till where had we stopped in the last class?
Impeachment.
Yes, impeachment of president was done. Sorry, Supreme Court judge. So, on the same grounds, even President of India is impeached, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so what else did we study in the last class? We studied about impeachment of president, right? Sorry, Supreme Court judge. So let us make a small revision of that because one of our friends here was not clear with the process. So I told it again and explained, right? So it is good if one of you only explains it. So what is the beginning? What will be the first procedure for impeachment of a judge of Supreme Court or High Court? What will be the first procedure?
Ma'am, the one third of the majority party has to pass the impeachment order, ma'am. And then,
Okay.
for the both, after the both houses agree with that, and then the investigation should happen. And then after that, two-third majority party should say yes to the impeachment of the president or the court, yeah, whatever, for the judge, and then he'll be impeached.
Okay. From the submitting the report till the end, you were right. So in the beginning, there is a small change. So what will be the procedure is on the grounds. On what grounds will a judge be impeached? Okay, that is only two grounds. Constitution has mentioned only two grounds, but has not defined them. What are they? Proved misbehavior and incapacity. Am I right? There are only two grounds.
Yes, ma'am.
That is
Yes,
proved
ma'am.
misbehavior, yeah, proved misbehavior and incapacity. Okay, so if a judge is found to be culprit or on the overview, just to see overview, upar dikta, we tell like that. No, it is visible that the judge has done something, but still without a proper investigation, it cannot be proved. Hence, what will happen? A motion has to be passed. Okay, the first step is to introduce this particular impeachment order in the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. That is depending on which house takes the lead. Okay, it can be done either in Lok Sabha or in Rajya Sabha. So, in case of Lok Sabha, 100 members, remember Lok Sabha, 100 members have to pass this particular impeachment motion.
Yes,
Or
ma'am.
in Rajya Sabha, it will be 50.
50.
Here, it is not 1 by 3rd or 2 by 3rd. Just remember the numbers in case of passing the motion in the initial time. Okay, that is 100 in case of Lok Sabha and 50 in case of Rajya Sabha.
Rajya.
Right? So once this will pass, what will happen is the Supreme Speaker or the Rajya Sabha chairman, in whichever house it is passed, in the respective house, the head of
He
that
will
particular.
create member of a team of three members.
Yes, they'll agree. If they'll agree the motion,
They'll
then
agree. Yeah.
go forward. If they don't agree, the impeachment motion will get cancelled there itself. It will not be
Yes.
initiated at all. Correct? So, three-member committee will be formed by the either chairman of Rajya Sabha or speaker of Lok Sabha. So, who will be the members of this committee of three?
Judge of High Court,
Yes.
One
one
Chief
judge of
Justice and
Chief Justice, Judge
Yes.
of High Court, and any other advocate which will be chosen
Any
by
other
the
distinguished jurist. Okay,
distinguished jury.
right. So either Chief Justice of India or any senior
Yes, ma'am.
lawyer. See, in case Chief Justice of India is busy or held up in some other work, he can always recommend any other person to take his place. Okay, that is their internal adjustment. In case Chief Justice of India or any Supreme Court lawyer, first one. Second is any High Court judge. There are 25 High Courts in the country, and either of the judge can be invited to form a part of this committee. Another one is a distinguished jurist. So, what will this particular committee do? It will take on the issue of impeachment of president, Supreme Court judge. For example, they'll see if really the illegality has happened, or if whatever there is any allegations against the Supreme Court judge, it will be studied upon and the investigation will carry on. And this particular committee, it will give a report. Okay, so now this report, let us consider, in this report it is found that the Supreme Court judge is guilty. It is proved that the Supreme Court judge has made some mistake and it is against the ethics of the constitution. That is the reason the committee will tell that this so and so person is guilty and he can be impeached. So this particular report also has to go ahead. Now for this,
Yes.
whatever are parental here in this, from this part, it should be passed in both the houses of the parliament in special majority, that is 2 by 3rd.
2/3.
Yes. So once this 2 by 3rd majority in both the houses of parliament it is passed, it will go to the president and president will sign it and he will issue an order to the judge. This is called as presidential order for removal of the judge. So how will the judge be removed? Through a presidential order. How will be what will be the pronouncement? Like in Supreme Court cases and all, they'll pronounce the judgment. But here, in case of removal of the judge, what it will be? It will be an order of the president. Okay. So this is the procedure. It is, remember, it is not easy to get 2 by 3rd majority easy in the parliament. Okay, 2 by 3rd of total membership of the house and 2 by 3rd of those present and voting and 50% of total membership of the house. We'll see special majority and all when we do with amendments, okay, because it's a little complicated topic. Like simple majority is just 50% of total membership of the house, okay, and special majority is, it has two clause, that is two conditions have to be fulfilled in case of a special majority. One is 2 by 3rd of the members present and voting. So if the total strength is 100, let's take the total strength to be 100, and those members present in Lok Sabha today when the impeachment process is coming into the Lok Sabha for debate, today how many members are present? Just imagine there are 75 members today, they are present. Out of those 75 we have to get 2 by 3rd majority. Okay, and this 75 out of the 75, whatever 2 by 3rd majority number we have got, that number should also be half of 100, that is the total membership of the house. Correct. So what is half of 100? It is 50. And what is 2 by 3rd of 75? That number should be more than 50. So this is, you are understanding the maths here? Is it clear? This special majority, what is the meaning of
Yes,
special
ma'am.
majority? Yeah.
Ma'am, if judge of a Supreme Court means impeachment is passed against him, and it is failed to get 2/3 of majority,
Huh. So he
and
won't be impeached.
and one more time, can impeachment be passed or not?
One more time means again the process has to be initiated. That lead can be taken by Lok Sabha if they want. Because see now today you're not able to attain 2 by 3rd majority. So probably you will get another chance only after the next election. Because even after 1 year, the same parliament is continuing. If you'll try to pass the bill, same members will be there in the parliament and the opinion will be same. So generally, this
Okay.
opinion won't change. So in order to, if you want to really impeach the person, the parliament or the opinion of the entire 2/3 majority has to change. Until then, it will become difficult to impeach a Supreme Court judge. That is the reason, it should not be very easy for people to remove judges just like that. Right? That is the reason why this long procedure is established in the Constitution. This is the procedure described in Constitution itself. Okay. So impeachment process is clear, or shall I repeat it once again?
Ma'am, can you please explain the majority topic so that
Okay.
in Hindi?
So see, what is simple majority? Simple majority is nothing but 50% of total membership of the house. Okay, today we'll see what is the total membership of the house. That is 550 around is the total membership of Lok Sabha. Okay, so what is simple majority is out of the total, let's take it to be 100. It is easy to calculate as of now. So just imagine the total strength of Lok Sabha at present is 100. Okay, so what is simple majority? 51. 50, more than 50% means anything above 50 is a majority, right? That is called a simple majority. If a bill has to be passed, 51 members will tell yes, the bill will be passed. Then comes second is the what is it? Special majority. Why is the special majority is required? You'll understand in the further classes. Okay. So in special majority, there are two conditions you have to fulfill. What is that? Is in the first condition, 2 by third of members present and voting. Okay. See, in a class, even in a class, 100% attendance can't be attained, right? Class of just 30, 40 students, very rarely it happens that all of them are present. In the same way, our Lok Sabha is having more than 500 members, right? So it is not possible for all the 500 members to be there on every day. There are members who will have some other commitments, like they'll have to oversee some other operations. They might not come to the Lok Sabha that day. So there will be absentees every day in the Lok Sabha. So members present and voting means on today, on the date on which the bill is being passed, on that day, how many members in the Lok Sabha they'll be present and they'll vote, that will be considered. Okay, so what is the first clause? 2 by third of the members present and voting, right? So for 100, imagine I am giving you a figure of 75, right? Or let's take 76, whatever the amount, it is easy to calculate. 76 or 75, whatever the amount, the present and voting into 2 by 3. Okay, so what will be 75 into 2 by 3?
25.
So 25 is the 2 by third of
Sorry, 50.
yeah, 25 is just 1 by 4th of it. Yeah. So in 75, that is the 75 members today are present and voting. Out of the 75 members, 50 votes should be there for this particular bill. 50 plus 1, that is 51. 2 by third majority means 50 will be there. Plus the additional clause is that half of total members of the house. So what did I tell you? The total members, that is 100. So what is half of 100? It is 50. If the above 50, that is 2 by third of members present and voting, should also be more than this half of the house, that is 50. This is the same in this case. So this bill will be passed. Just imagine the members present and voting today are only 60. Do you think the bill can be passed in special majority today?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am,
Because
because the members
yeah.
are not
Will
half.
not suffice the second condition.
Yes. So what is the first condition? 60 into
Ma'am, but 30-30.
yeah, tell me. See, 60 into 2 by 3, what will be that?
40.
40, right? 40.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is the half of total membership? Total
50.
membership will always remain same, that is 100, and half of total membership is 50. So 2 by third majority and this won't suffice because there is a gap of 10, right? That is the reason why number of people present and voting will matter a lot for an impeachment bill. Just imagine if this, and you know, this happened in case of Justice Ramaswamy. He is the first and the only Indian judge against whom impeachment process was initiated. But what happened is not all turned up for the voting day. When this particular impeachment order had to be passed, members were not present in the parliament. So what happened? That particular bill lapsed and the impeachment was cancelled. So if you get the question, it just happened that number of people who were there, who had to vote, they just abstained from attending Lok Sabha that day. Over, no, the work is attended. If you don't go only, then first condition and the second condition, they can't be fulfilled together. That is the reason why against Ramaswamy, though the process was initiated and even the committee, the 3 judges committee, it found out that he is a culprit and his accusations are right, the process could not be completed because of lack of majority in the house. Clear?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, once the voting date is fixed, they will not change it. Ma'am,
It can be date. That depends on the speaker.
okay.
Yeah. And there is a concept called as a party whip. Have you heard of the word party whip anytime?
No, ma'am. Explain.
No, ma'am.
What is the meaning of party whip is that, see, there are many political parties in Lok Sabha and even in state legislatures, many political parties will be there and they do together form the government. Okay. So see where this party whip becomes important is now there is a bill. Today, this particular people want to impeach the Supreme Court judge. Okay. So Congress party has 40 members in the Lok Sabha. right? Remaining members are remaining 40 are from BJP and remaining 20 from other political party. Okay, now what happens is, just imagine among the 20 people who are from other political parties, some of them will be supporting Congress, some of them will be supporting BJP, not joining the party but giving support from outside, it is called. So what happens, the party whip of Congress will tell, this particular judge has really done good for the country, he doesn't need to be impeached, let us all abstain from voting that day. Or imagine they have tried to convince the government that the impeachment process need not be necessary, but the government will not listen and the parliament will go ahead with the proceedings. The party whip, that is the leader in the Lok Sabha, who is dealing with the Congress party. Every party will have its own whip in Lok Sabha. Okay, so Congress party whip will instruct all the members of the party not to come for voting on that particular day. This is what happens in practice, though it is not mentioned anywhere. This happens in practice in order to make sure that one particular bill or any particular act that needs special majority is not passed in the parliament. So all the 40 members from Congress will abstain. And similarly, among the remaining 20 people who are from other parties who all support Congress, they also will abstain from voting. So it will become very tough for the government to attain the two-third majority, and that particular bill will lapse. So party whip is a person who directs the functions of all the members belonging to a particular party in the Lok Sabha. Okay, it's not like leader of president of BJP or president of Congress doing something. In the Lok Sabha, whoever is handling the particular members of a particular party is called as a party whip. Clear?
Excuse me,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Ma'am, can't action be taken against these parliament that they have not been there for the voting?
Yes. So what do you think? Should they be punished or should they not be punished? What is your opinion?
ma'am,
I think this is
Should
more
for
of a veto power that they have.
Yeah. So
I
see,
think, yeah.
yeah, tell.
I think that this is more of a veto power they have, that they can't even be punished and they can
Yes.
not.
Yes, that is a kind of liberty given to parliamentarians. Like, if you feel that your people are not being just, your representation of your people is not being heard, they have all the right to block the work being done. That is the reason, it how that is how democracy works. Like, some of the opposition parties are there to obstruct the functioning of government, where if it feels that government is becoming more autocratic or it's taking more of a wrong decision or it's going against the general ethics of the society. So the opposition, that is how it counters. So probably for good bills, it is an obstruction, and for a bad bill, it is a very good move. What do you think? See, for example, a very genuine judge is trying to be impeached by a present ruling government because he has given some anti-government rulings. So that time, if the opposition party blocks it by making sure that they abstain from voting, do you think it is justified or not?
Yes, ma'am. It will be.
No, ma'am, but it's not us that who are to decide it is a good move or a bad move. It's
Yes.
still at the end of the day not right to not come for voting.
Yes, it is always not. If they want, they can also abstain from voting and they can also not vote. They need not vote. It's not important that they are in the parliament means they have to vote. If they vote, they can tell a no also. But don't know if the party, because sometimes it happens that parties just suddenly shift off. Like people in the party, they suddenly move off to other parties. It's called as floor crossing. In order to avoid that, whips generally do that. But if you see the original democratic process or ideal democratic process, all these things are in a negative color only. See, if you ever get time, try to read the book India After Gandhi or India After Independence. One book is from Bipin Chandra, and another one is from Ramchandra Guha. You will get to know how the first generation politicians of India, that is just after independence, whoever were there in the Lok Sabha and whoever were there in Rajya Sabha, the way they have functioned, that is called as original democracy. Okay, you will get to know how ethical the people or how ethical the parliamentarians that time were. It's a very good book to read, and you'll get to know how the parliament exactly works.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Any other doubts?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Yeah. So even in case of see what is happening in Rajasthan right now, it might be a political move wherein the ruling party in Rajasthan now is Congress, right? And the opposition party there is BJP. And there is some what you have to ignore is the political conflict or the pure politics that is happening within the party members in Congress, right? They some person was angry that he was not given the chief ministership post or whatever the concept might be. So those people, along with his supporters, they have jumped to other political party. Now, what will happen? The majority of the assembly will fall off, and the government has to go for a fresh election, or again give a chance to another party to form a government. So what is happening? This is a kind of malfunctioning of democracy, right? People generally vote to the candidates most of the time based on their party, not based on the person's candidature. Right? How many of you agree with this? What is your opinion?
Yes, ma'am, you are right.
And this is what happened in the last national elections. A
Yes.
lot of
Yeah.
irresponsive people were elected due to Narendra Modi's image.
Yes. So we just saw the image of one particular person and electing the people based on the political party. So what is the main message here? Indians or in most of the countries, what happens is people vote for the party. So what do you think? Some people have been voted. If Sachin Pilot, for example, was voted because he was in Congress. Now, if he'll suddenly jump off to BJP, what does it mean? He has eroded the faith of the public there. In order to avoid such jumpings, or it is called as horse trading, or it is also called as floor crossing, there is a mechanism called as anti-defection law. Okay, we'll see that because we'll see it in this month's current affairs only in the coming classes. So anti-defection is one such mechanism which is making sure that such political crossings do not happen and democracy will really function in its true essence as it is expected. It is one of the amendments made to the constitution. So clear till here, impeachment of the president.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, that you told previously that means judge
Yeah.
of judge of High Court and Chief Justice of India and distinguished juries, they form a
Yes.
majority,
They form a
uh,
committee.
a committee. And ma'am, what type of committee is that? Means what is the objective of that committee?
Objective is it is a short term committee just till the time they investigate that particular judge's case, and this is not a permanent committee. Remember, if one particular case comes up on case to case basis, the speaker will allocate the committee. It is not a permanent committee. Okay, and this procedure is just mentioned, and speaker will elect based on the case. If one particular judge's case comes, the chief justice of India, some high court judge, and a distinguished jurist committee will be made. Till the committee investigates and gives its report, its work is done. After that, the committee can close its work. And again, if second judge's case or second some other high court judge case comes up, new committee will be formed by the speaker. Okay, it is not a
Okay,
permanent
ma'am.
committee. Just for the case to case basis, it will be decided. Clear till here? So
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
you'll be asked a question against whom the impeachment procedure has been initiated in India. Against how many judges impeachment process has been initiated in India?
One person, I guess.
One person.
Only one judge.
Ramsa.
Okay, fine. And that is Justice Ramaswamy. Okay.
Excuse me,
And
ma'am.
yeah,
When I searched about the Justice V. Ramaswamy,
okay.
there was one more name which came, and that is Sumitra Sen.
Okay.
It is
Was
said that the process of impeachment was against her also, but it was not completed.
okay. I was not aware of that. I think it was only Ramaswamy till date. And
Yes, ma'am. When I searched
information.
on Google that about how many judges there was the process of impeachment taken,
Impeachment.
these two names appeared.
What is the name you told?
Sumitra Sen, Soumitra.
Sumitra Sen. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, yes, I also have studied, but I was not able to recall it.
Sure. Okay, okay. I'll tell you about
Ma'am,
it clearly. Yeah.
ma'am, what will be the major reason to get impeached?
Any case, for example, I'll tell you now about one justice called as Justice Karnan, right? He was
Yes.
jailed. I think this was the work I had given to you all in the last class. Justice
No,
Karnan
ma'am,
was
you gave us to read about V. Ramaswamy.
Yes,
okay, okay,
ma'am,
fine.
about
I had to
Ramaswamy.
give, I was about to give that to you today. I told of the answer, fine. So see, it is only two grounds mentioned in Constitution: proved misbehavior and incapacity. But explanation of that has not been mentioned anywhere. So based on the what is it? It is visible if a person gets corrupt or if there has been any violation. If the person is going against the Constitution, for example, just see in case of a president also the grounds are not mentioned. Just imagine the judge tries to meddle something with the works of the court. For example, he tries to misappropriate the assets of the court, or he tries to take bribe, any corruption charges against him, or probably he is himself a criminal in any other case. In all these cases, it is visible that you are not fit to be a judge of a Supreme Court. There need not be any particular ground on that. So, based on, or probably he is going against the constitution in various ways. So it is not a particular incident that will describe, just what makes you unfit that is visible in their actions. Clear? Justice Ramaswamy, what were the grounds against him? Have you read Justice Ramaswamy? What were the cases? Why was he tried to impeach?
Yes, ma'am.
What was that?
The first reason which came was that he used most of the money of Punjab and Haryana court for his
Okay.
own personal use.
Yes. So that comes under the category of proved misbehavior, right? As a public
Yes.
servant, judge is nothing but a public servant. So there are certain duties expected out of a public servant, right? So if that violation of those duties, these are something set by the society itself, like a standard. Just imagine a judge, just 2 days ago, there was a contempt case against a lawyer, Prashant Bhushan, if you remember, if you have gone
Yes,
through
ma'am.
the
Yes,
newspaper.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So we'll
Yes,
also
ma'am.
discuss that a little later, because this is called a new case called contempt of the court. That will also be a part of Supreme Court discussions. So there are certain behaviors expected out of a public servant. If that is violated, and if minor things can be ignored, but misappropriating court's money for personal use is something that cannot be forgiven. Judge himself gives justice, and if he is only becoming unjust, then it is visible, right? And what was
And
the
ma'am,
sound? Yeah.
and ma'am, when I read, one more point appeared, and that was that he was appointed in 1971,
Okay.
and he was appointed on the recommendation of his father-in-law, who was a chief justice at that time,
Okay.
named K. Veeraswamy.
Yes. So,
And ma'am, that K. Veeraswamy was also blamed in several cases of corruption.
okay. Probably against the father-in-law, the
Yes,
what
ma'am.
impeachment hasn't gone, and for
Yes,
his
ma'am.
case, it has gone. See, this is where collegium, collegium has to be transparent. That is why it is told. Though that time collegium concept was not there. See, what do you think? See, in collegium, what happens? Judges are selected from High Court. On what merit they are selected, how they are selected, this particular procedure which this collegium follows, this is still kept as a secret. Like they have not told it anywhere. What are the parameters on which they select the judges? So, don't you think there is a need for reform in the judiciary? What all the changes can be brought according to you? Like, how do you think this particular appointment of judges to Supreme Court can be made better or more transparent?
It should not be for us to change it, or else wise the independence of judiciary will also be harmed. So then it will again be that fact only, that why are you getting your
Right.
nose into judiciary?
If they disclose the reasons for the appointment of High Court judge to Supreme Court, the High Court
Okay.
judges can, like cover up their things and
Yes.
all.
Yeah, if they give the what conditions on which High Court judges are, right, they may try to bribe, or they may try to pretend not their original self. They may try to just act that they're what eligible for it. Yes, that's also a good point.
But I think the judiciary should be a little more transparent to the public so that we could know the basis on which the judges or the CJIs are being appointed.
Yes. So what could be the measure? For example, now collegium can tell, see, these are the measures on which we are taking the considerations, or these are
Yes, ma'am.
the we can collegium can put its however it is measuring, that should be brought in the public domain. You know, Right to Information Act. Have you all heard of Right to Information Act?
Ma'am,
Yes.
RTI.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, RTI is something that has kind of strengthened democracy, we can tell. How has it strengthened? For example, there has to be a road sanctioned in your area, okay, and one crore of amount is allocated to that particular road. But you are seeing that 5 years are over and not even the single inch of the road has been laid. So what is the power? Till now, you had no rights to question. Though you could go and ask the government representatives. It was not through any powers. So to Right through Information Act, what has happened is public offices. Okay, whoever public authorities, there is a clause in RTI that defines what is a public authority. These public authorities, they have to themselves give the information in the public domain, even it might be just as small as a 50 paisa or a 1 rupee. How they are spending it or what all the works they are taking, that should be voluntarily given in the public domain. In case they are not able to do that, or in case even this voluntary disclosure of information is not satisfying the public, what can the public do? They can approach through the Right to Information Act and question those particular public authority. See, this 1 crore amount was sanctioned, where is the road? So they have
Yes,
to
ma'am.
answer you within so and so days. I think it's only 20 days time. If the public information officer fails to reply, he has to pay amount or compensation to the person who has asked the question. So in this, what has happened is there it's a kind of right given to the public to question the authorities for non-functioning, right? So till recently, till last year, Supreme Court was not a part of this right to information. You know what Supreme Court or judiciary as such, what it used to tell? It used to tell it is an impingement on the independence of judiciary. We have certain things that has to be what kept under the blanket, so we cannot give information. It will hamper the independence. Judiciary is not a part of public authority and no RTI questions will be entertained. So what do you think, this was good or bad on part of the judiciary?
And both we can say.
Good. Okay, who
Yes.
all will go? What are the good points here? Why is it good?
Ma'am, ma'am, I said good because it is that image of judiciary is still maintained, that they are not answerable to anyone, not even the parliament. But still, it
Yes.
is not that good because the judges are, if they are doing, then it's not good that they are
Yes.
holding office of profit.
Yes. So why it is good is that, see, RTI is for public authorities and judges are anyway performing their works properly. It is assumed that because Indians today give their 100% trust to judiciary. They might tell proceedings are delayed and all, but if Supreme Court tells something, it is like a golden word for all the Indians, and that is generally seen as a mentality in every what country or every democracy today. Okay, so that particular respect to judiciary should be, will be violated if RTI is given, because for every silly things people will be posting RTI. If it is a genuine cause, it is different, but most of the time it is always a wasted effort. So in the similar way, what will happen in case of RTI? Just last year, what has happened is Supreme Court or judiciary has opened itself for the RTI Act. So this was, I think, one of the passages in your consortium paper also, I guess. Have you gone through it? Right to Information Act and opening up of judiciary for it is one of the debated topics now. Any doubt till here? Think
No,
of think of more points wherein you can favor RTI's inclusion, judiciary's inclusion in RTI or not. Okay, so I think there is no power supply here. So probably for half an hour more, I'll take the class. If power comes, we'll resume, or else remaining 1 hour we'll again take after some time. Would that be okay? Because there is heavy
okay.
rainfall here, and that's why the power supply has just gone.
It's okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So shall we proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
So in Supreme Court, what other topic we have to see is removal of judges done. Then Yes. What is the meaning of contempt of court? Can anyone tell? Meaning of contempt of court?
Ma'am, can I?
Yeah, yeah. Proceed.
Ma'am, that High Court or Supreme Court is the court of record they are having of the cases.
Yes.
And if like a High Court has declared some decision against one,
Yeah,
then
you're right.
Supreme Court has power to means to have the record of the law, record of that what we are saying.
Yes, yes, you're right. See, there are
and
various. Yeah, proceed.
if a Supreme Court thinks that the decision is not made correct, or according to him that there is some change is to be made, so
Okay.
they can ask for the record
Okay.
from that High Court.
Yeah, you're partially right, almost 90% right and 10% wrong. Okay. So, see, there are various functions of Supreme Court, right? Or judiciary has many functions. One of them is what is that you'll have appellate jurisdiction. So, what is appellate jurisdiction? Nothing but from the lower court. If you're not happy with the judgment, you'll go to a higher court, right? In the same way, it has original jurisdiction, that is, some fundamental rights are violated, so citizens can directly approach High Court and Supreme Court. Another one is dispute between two government entities, or dispute between two state governments, or central government and state government, right? If these disputes happen, the original authority is Supreme Court. Apart from all these, there is one particular power for Supreme Court called as Court of Record. Okay. In Court of Record, there are two components. The first component is that any cases that has been happening in Indian Supreme Court or Indian judiciary, even high courts as well, significant judgments or all the judgments are recorded, kept as a record. Okay. And these judgments can be used as a reference for future cases. Okay, for example, if some case is happening today, we can always refer to the similar case that has happened some certain years ago and what the court had told back then, right? So this is called as court of record. The second one is contempt of court. What is contempt of court? Again, in this, there are two cases. What is that? Civil contempt and criminal contempt. Okay. What is civil contempt? Civil contempt is nothing but, see, so and so court has given some decision. High Court has told that one particular person's right is violated, so Government of India should not violate the rights of that particular person. But the Government of India continues to do the same mistake and the right goes on being violated. So, what is happening? The Supreme Court's decision is not being listened to. It is, isn't it not like insulting the dignity of Supreme Court or any court? If the court has given a ruling, public and the government is bound to follow it. If it is not followed, it is a kind of insult to the dignity of the Supreme Court. So the court, both Supreme Court and High Court, have a power. This is called as criminal contempt. Okay. What does it mean? When the, sorry,
Ma'am, I can't hear you.
Ma'am, we can't see you, ma'am.
Even me.
Ma'am will join in 5 minutes.
Ma'am?
Mom is not in the meeting right now. She'll be back.
Hello.